on Lucinda's office. Lucinda walks in, leading Aiden.
Feel free to sit wherever you'd like.
Which chair is yours?
Both. But you can sit wherever you'd like.
Aiden scans the room, carefully considering. He picks a chair, but as Lucinda moves to sit in the other chair, he changes his mind. Lucinda moves to the other chair graciously.
Comfortable?
Sorry, I just don't want to sit in your chair.
Like I said, they're both my chairs. But I can only sit in one at a time, so whichever one you want to sit in is fine. So, what brings you in today?
Well, there's a lot. I don't know where to start.
Wherever you'd like.
That's the thing. If I start at the beginning, that's going to take too long and not get into my issues. But if I start with my issues, you won't understand how I got there in the first place.
Why don't we start with why you decided to see a counselor?
Okay, I got dumped. Well, it wasn't until after I got dumped. It was at my sister's wedding. But, like, it wasn't the wedding. I choked and almost died. So that's when I decided.
Sorry to hear all that. Why don't you start with the wedding and tell me what happened?
Well, the other thing is that I met someone right after I got dumped, and I really like him.
All right. Do you want to start there?
Do you want me to start there?
I want you to start where you're comfortable.
I'm not comfortable starting anywhere.
Then let's start with the breakup. Did your ex say why they ended the relationship?
Yes, he did.
And why did he?
I don't want to start there.
Okay, that's fine. Why don't you tell me what happened after? What did you do after he broke up with you?
I went to the bar.
Do you do that a lot?
Kinda. My friends were there. It's not like I have a drinking problem or anything, but yes, I was happy about the alcohol too.
Aiden's phone dings. Half-lights come up on Elise, sitting at a table across the stage, drink in hand. She is shaking slightly due to cerebral palsy. Elise's voice plays overhead as she types on her phone.
Aiden, are you coming? Charlie's about to go on stage.
I guess this is where it starts. I decided to go see my friend's drag show, even though it kind of felt like crap.
Tell me about it.
Well, I texted my friend Elise back. I told her I'd been dumped and told her not to tell our friend Charlie, who was performing.
Aiden stands and moves to where Elise is sitting. Lights come up full on Elise, fade out on Lucinda. Some type of club music plays. She sets her phone down just as Aiden walks toward her.
Hey, Elise.
There you are. You almost didn't make it in time. It's about to start.
Elise gets off her stool and hugs Aiden. They continue the dialogue while she struggles to get back onto her bar stool. Aiden tries to help, but she slaps his hands away. She gets herself seated.
I didn't almost miss it. I'm right on time. The general rules for Charlie shows is to show up half an hour late because that's when they actually start. They're like weddings.
I ordered you your favorite.
She pushes a glass toward him. He chugs his drink and shudders.
So are we... Oh, okay.
He grabs Elise's drink and chugs hers too.
So are we going to talk about it, or...
No, I don't want to talk about it. I want to drink about it. And please don't tell Charlie.
I didn't say a word, just like you never do about your feelings.
Oh, ouch. I will say I should have known. He's a cat person. Okay, just calm your tits. It's not like I hate cats or cat people. In my own personal experience, cats just pretend they want your love and affection, when really they want to bite your hand and put their butthole on everything. They're too emotionally volatile for me.
Considering you repress all your emotions, a turtle would probably be too emotionally volatile for you.
Rude.
Accurate.
Just then, an announcement comes on. And now, welcome to the stage, Ivana Kutovich. Charlie enters to stand on stage in full drag while Elise and Aiden applaud.
This song is dedicated to my friend Aiden. He's recently been dumped and needs to be humped. Baby, you say you're versatile, but we all know you're a bottom. Hit it!
The chorus of Lily Allen's Fuck You begins to play. Aiden stares at Elise accusingly.
What? I said I didn't say anything. I just showed him the text.
Aiden whines and drops his head on the table. Elise places a hand on his back. The song plays as the lights fade out. Act 1, Scene 2. The lights come back up on the bar and the song ends. Charlie bows to applause, steps off the stage, and joins Elise and Aiden. Club music continues to play. Their table has multiple empty glasses, most of which sit in front of Aiden. Jude is across the room, sipping on a whiskey on the rocks.
Did you really have to come out on stage like that? I told you, I'm not a bottom.
Sweetie, lying is so unattractive. Besides, now there's plenty of men here who know you're available for a good time tonight.
I don't want any of them. I want Carter.
He doesn't want you, so don't be a little bitch. Find a guy here and let him ride you until you see God.
According to Charlie, if you have a hookup, you'll get over Carter faster, and then you can get into a new relationship. One that's better for you. I have to say I disagree.
Carter and I weren't that bad together.
Charlie removes his wig and slams it on the table.
Let me tell you about Carter. He undertips, he makes you pay part of the rent if you stay more than 3 days at his apartment. He told all his friends about that time you peed the bed. Shh. And he always bought you smaller clothes to encourage you to lose weight. Does that summarize the special kind of bleached asshole that is Carter?
Maybe if you think about all the bad things, it will help you get over him faster. I highly doubt going home with some guy is the answer.
Aiden shakes his head and searches his pockets and the table.
No, I want Carter. I want to be with him. I need to be with him. I'm gonna call him. Where's my phone?
Sweetie, of course I confiscated your phone.
How? You were on stage.
You've been drinking after a breakup. I'm not going to let you call him.
Aiden grabs Charlie's face in both his hands.
I fucking love you and hate you.
Charlie shrugs off Aiden's affection.
Love me or hate me, nobody ain't me.
Calm down, Real Housewife of Buttfuck, Idaho. Aiden, if you're going to listen to Charlie, that's fine. Just be safe. And you should have some kind of vetting process. You know the guy is safe.
Like that guy. He looks safe, what about him?
They all stare at Jude, who notices wide-eyed. Charlie waves him over. He looks around to make sure it's not somebody else.
Yeah, sweater vest over there looks nice and boring.
He looks like he'll fuck you for a polite amount of time.
You're sure you and Carter are over?
Yes, it's done.
Well then, you meet this guy and see if he's the one to show you the love you deserve tonight. Yes, you with the tight ass, come here.
Jude approaches. He and Aiden eye each other carefully.
Hi, this is my very good friend Aiden. Aiden, this is...
Jude.
Jude. Jude, this is Aiden.
Aiden holds out his hand to shake Jude's, who takes it. Their handshake lingers.
Very good. Now my friend Aiden here has just been dumped.
I think the bar next door heard the announcement. I'm sorry. How are you holding up?
He's a complete wreck. I mean, look at him. Empty drinks scattered around the table, sad puppy dog eyes, and yes, he does normally slouch this much, but not this much. Don't you want to be the man to take him home and fuck the sad out of him?
Jude, Elise, and Aiden stare at Charlie in shock.
What? Okay, maybe they don't have to go all the way, though Aiden could definitely use some lovin'. I'm saying Jude here might be the one to help him get through this night.
Like I said, we need a vetting process. We're not just sending him away with anybody. Let's see. If you could be a fruit, what would you be?
If he's a fruit.
Jude looks at Aiden in surprise.
Oh, she's totally serious. I apologize for all of this in advance. Feel free to leave at any time. I mean, not that I want you to, if you don't want to deal with this.
I'll play. I guess I'm a tomato. Some people think it's a vegetable, some people want it to be a vegetable. Yet, it's a fruit, and no other opinions matter.
Aiden checks Jude out. Jude smiles nervously.
If you could vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go?
Well, I would really love to visit England, see the history, that kind of thing.
No, the correct answer is wherever Aiden wants to go. Thanks for playing. Goodbye.
Jude stands his ground.
Doesn't Aiden get to make that call? These answers are for him, not you.
Elise and Aiden share an impressed look while Charlie stares at Jude, offended.
You're right. And I like your answer. England would be a great place to vacation.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
Invisibility. Think of all the incredible things you could learn from people who thought no one was listening.
Jude interrupts Charlie's attempt to interrupt.
What about you, Aiden?
I think, Teleportation. I tend to run late, so it'd be nice to get somewhere on time.
More like you teleport late anyway.
Rude.
Accurate.
Anyway, Jude, you pass, or whatever. I'd love to continue our conversation in private.
Fine. Shun the drag queen, I'm used to it.
You literally just had people throwing money at you.
Help me, I'm poor.
We'll leave. Come on, Charlie. Buy me a drink with all those tips you made.
Excuse me? That money goes toward my art.
Yes, the latest season of NCIS Los Angeles is a real representation of your art.
Elise and Charlie exit, bickering. Jude takes a seat at the table.
I really am sorry about them. They're just trying to be protective. Well, Elise is trying to be protective. Charlie just wants to live vicariously through me, I think.
Really? Is your life that much more impressive than a drag queen's?
Oh, absolutely not. In fact, I've never had a hookup before, not once. And I've only been with like 3 guys, so I guess you could say I'm pretty boring.
That's interesting, because you don't seem boring to me.
Are you sure? I mean, I'm not show up to a bar in a sweater vest boring, but I definitely don't get out much.
Ouch. That cuts deep, Aiden.
It's a good thing I didn't mean it. And I'm actually kind of a big fan of the hot librarian look. Please shush me. Shh. Ooh, and find me. I hope it's a big one.
Well, you are a shameless flirt. It's a good thing I'm a fan of a man with confidence.
Oh, the confidence is all alcohol.
I don't know about that. Alcohol just means your inhibitions are looser. It probably means you're confident at heart, but you just don't trust yourself.
You sound like a therapist. Oh, shit, are you a therapist?
No, I'm an English teacher. I actually just moved here for a job.
On purpose?
Yeah, I did. It was a good offer. The area seemed cool. There's lots of outdoor activities.
Oh, I don't get out much.
Sounds like I was lucky to catch you on a night out.
You know, if you want to press your luck, I'd like you to catch me on a night in.
So forward. Are you sure you're ready to move on from your ex so quickly?
Oh yeah, when you're told how horrible of a human you are, then you go and meet a cute guy who actually seems to like you, you're about ready to drop pants in a heartbeat.
Well, it's not that I'm complaining, but are you sure that's what you want? I mean, I want you to know that whatever happens, I'm gonna respect your boundaries. If you don't want to do anything, then that's fine.
Oh, are you respecting my boundaries?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
Aiden cuts Jude off with a kiss. Aiden pulls away as if realizing he didn't ask permission. After a second, Jude leans forward and kisses him a second time for several long, sensual moments. Finally, they pull apart, grinning.
You want to go back to my place?
I only live about like 10 blocks away. Oh, but I have a roommate, Elise. Wait, I can ask her to stay at Charlie's tonight.
Okay, your place it is then. Let me pay for my drink. I'll snag yours too.
Oh, you're so sweet, thank you.
Jude and Elise pass each other at the exit. Elise has a drink in her hands.
Am I staying at Charlie's tonight?
Could you? I'm so sorry.
I'm fine. He's gonna need to be driven home anyway. People are paying him to do body shots from between his boobs.
Everyone has to earn a living.
Aiden,
Yeah?
I love you. And I'm really sorry you got dumped. And if you want to go home with Jude, you should. I just want you to be okay.
Aiden grabs her hand.
I love you too. And I think I'll be fine. Jude told me he's gonna respect my boundaries.
Holy shit! Yeah, you better lock that down. Do your best, okay? Make sure you do some stretches. Did you make sure to scrub really good back there? Do you have enough condoms? I might have some in my purse.
Jude enters.
You're the best mom friend ever. I'm fine.
You ready to go, Aiden?
Yep, and thanks again, Elise.
Jude and Aiden stand up from the table. Jude exits first while Aiden turns back to wave at Elise. Make good choices! The lights fade out. Act 1, Scene 3. The lights come back up on Aiden and Lucinda in her office.
So you went home with him.
Yeah, back to my place.
And do you still think that was a good choice? It sounded like he was very respectful.
I felt so cared for. I never experienced anything like that with Carter.
Anything like what?
I mean, do you want me to get into the specifics of my gay sexual encounter?
You can tell me whatever you're comfortable with.
I mean, is sex normally that great? He, and then we, he held me. He made me feel safe. I really felt like we connected. And there were a couple times I got nervous and he checked in on me and told me we could stop if I wanted to.
Did you?
After he said he could stop, I didn't want him to. My favorite part was breakfast in the morning, though.
Why?
Jude and I talked, and it was really nice.
The lights go down on Lucinda. They come up on the kitchen area where Jude sits, slightly disheveled, eating breakfast. Aiden joins him at the table where they sit in silence for a few moments.
So I tried finding you on Instagram. What's your handle?
I don't have one.
Oh, what about Facebook and Twitter?
Nope, and nope. I'm not online.
Okay, how do you currently exist in the world without social media?
I had them all at one point, but I got rid of them. All the depressing news. If people want to get hold of me, they have my phone number.
Okay, well, can I snag that? Or do you still do T9 texting on your flip phone with an antenna?
Haha. I have a smartphone. I'm not some fuddy-duddy.
It's usually the fuddy-duddies who say the phrase fuddy-duddy.
Jude pulls out his phone, unlocks it, and hands it to Aiden, who stares at it for a moment, then hands it back.
I don't know how to use this.
It's an iPhone.
I know, I use Android.
Oh, okay. I see how it is.
He taps away on his phone.
Here, now you can just type in your name and number. Can you handle that?
I guess.
He inputs his information.
There, you have a new contact, Aiden Lawrence.
Aiden Lawrence. I'm Jude Matthews.
They shake hands, amused.
So, not to be too forward, but can I see you again soon?
Aiden visibly stiffens and closes off. He pulls away. Jude clearly sees Aiden's distress.
No pressure. I just had a really nice time last night.
Me too. That was the best I've ever had.
Me too. Well, I really like you, Aiden. You're different from other guys I've met here.
You are too. I mean, I'm not originally from here, so maybe that makes a difference.
Where are you from?
Springfield, Illinois. You?
Boston.
Nice. You don't have the accent.
Well, I lost it when I went to college. I got my bachelor's in English in Boston, then I went to Kansas for my master's, and then I got accepted to this amazing doctoral program in Pennsylvania.
Wow. Do you make your students call you Dr. Matthews?
Nah, I'm a lot of things, but I'm not defined by my education level.
That's really not snobbish of you. I know plenty of English teachers who see themselves as second only to God.
Oh, yeah, I've met some of those myself.
Elise enters loudly.
Oh, it's so great to be home this morning where I hope everyone is dressed and not having sex. Oh, I was right. Thank God. Good morning, you two.
Hi.
Hello again.
So how was...
She catches Aiden's eye, who knows she's about to ask how the night went. He makes a cutting motion across his neck.
How was breakfast?
Aiden nods in approval.
It was very good. Aiden's very good in the kitchen.
Yeah, I'll bet he is.
Do you want me to make you something like a cup of go away?
I'd take some tea.
She sits at the table while Aiden bustles off to make tea. Jude and Elise share a polite smile.
Bacon and eggs.
Yep.
He makes the perfect bacon.
Yep.
Elise begins eating food off of Aiden's plate.
Did he do his scrambled eggs or...
Over medium. They were perfect. I know you want to ask about last night.
Can I? I don't need details. I'm just worried about him.
Well, Aiden is very clearly hurt by his breakup. It seems like there's more about his sadness.
Oh yeah, he's definitely one of those I'm fine people who are clearly not fine.
He was crying in the middle of the night. All I could do was hold him and pretend I was asleep. I didn't want to make it weird for him.
He's a really sensitive guy. He rarely opens up though. In fact, I'm surprised he didn't immediately pretend he wasn't crying. Honestly, I think it all stems from his parents.
Aiden enters with a cup of tea and a plate of food.
Here's your plate, and you owe me 2 pieces of bacon, it looks like. Anyways, Jude and I here were just talking about him being from Boston.
Oh, I hear they have good trees there.
Yeah, the best. Anyway, I should probably head out. I still have moving boxes to unpack and a house to get all set up.
Okay, I'll lock you out.
Aiden and Jude make their way outside. Elise steals all of Aiden's bacon as the lights fade out. Aiden and Jude speak at the same time.
I had go ahead.
No, you can go.
I had a really good time last night. And I never appreciated Big Spoon so much. Like, I know you were asleep, but you're a really good Big Spoon.
Yeah, I don't remember. I slept pretty soundly after. You're very passionate. And I like that. I can tell that it meant something to you.
I can tell the same thing. About you, I mean.
So we have each other's numbers. Maybe I'll text you and see about getting together for coffee or brunch.
About that, I'm gone all summer. I have my sister's wedding that I'm helping with back in Springfield, and then I spend the rest of the summer with my brother in Salt Lake.
Okay. Well, whenever you're available.
He leans in and gives Aiden a kiss on the cheek. Aiden turns the kiss into a mouth kiss, and after a moment, the two break apart.
I'll see you when I see you.
Okay. Bye.
The lights fade on the porch, and Aiden moves back to Lucinda's office.
It almost sounds like you were avoiding trying to see him again.
Not at all. I just didn't want to tell him how much I liked him. I didn't want to scare him away.
Ah, the mind games we play while dating. So, it sounds like you had an eventful summer. Your sister's wedding. Was it awkward that you just ended your relationship and he wasn't going to be there?
Oh, he wasn't going in the first place. He said that my sister's wife didn't like him, so he refused to see them.
Wow. How did he come to the conclusion that your sister's wife didn't like him?
Oh, she told him. On Facebook, it was this whole thing. They got into an argument about minimum wage, and then they started texting back and forth about it, and I got dragged into it because Carter wanted me to back him up, but I didn't because I agreed with her. So then he got mad at me and said I only agreed with her because I lived with her and Sarah for a year after Mom and Dad.
After what?
Well, long story short, Carter said I needed to get over the fact that my parents are no longer in my life.
I'm sorry he said that. And I'm sorry they're no longer in your life. Did they disown you for being gay?
Oh, no. They loved me for who I was. After my sister came out, my brother Riley came out as trans, so they pretty much expected me to be some kind of letter in the queer alphabet.
So, why aren't they in your life?
Can we just talk about my sister's wedding where I almost died?
Sure. But I want you to know you can be completely honest with me, okay? You can tell me anything.
I know, it's just... There are some things I don't want to talk about because I get to feeling all floopy.
That's okay. And maybe that will take time to sort out, but it sounds like something that does need sorted out. Anyway, you almost died. Let's start there.
Okay, so it all starts with my sister's wedding. Turns out I don't want to die by choking on a very dry piece of chicken.
The lights fade out on Lucinda and come up on a table at the wedding, where a drink is waiting for Aiden. Lillian comes out on stage and joins him with her own drink.
Having a good time, bro?
Yeah, you gave a really good speech, sis. Sarah's very lucky she found you.
Damn right she is. But I'm also lucky to have her too. And I'm lucky she's got a really great family. I can't thank you enough for the help with all of this the last month. Planning this wedding has been the most stressful event of my life. And I was in Washington, D.C. for the last 4 years.
But it's all paid off. And now you two get to go on your Alaskan honeymoon next week.
Siska, Alaska, here we go. I cannot wait for the sun, the whales, and the pot.
You have pot here in Illinois.
Yeah, but that's Illinois pot. I want to experience Alaska pot.
Yes, because I'm sure they're very different.
Sarah enters holding 2 plates of food with Riley holding 2 more. They sit down at the table.
Hey, sis.
Hey, bro.
Are my siblings literally not going to say hi to me? This whole day is about you. Calm down.
He hands Aiden his plate.
Thanks, Riley. So, how are you enjoying your first time ever being the best man?
It's fine. Dealing with the bridezilla can be a little bit of a pain, but
I'm fully
you take
aware.
what you can get.
I'm fully aware that I turned into a Karen during my wedding planning. I'm not proud of it, but I also know it's only temporary.
I hope so, because Jesus, you were terrible to the caterer. Love you, sweetie.
They share a quick peck.
So, Aiden, you never told us exactly what happened with Carter.
No, I didn't.
Are you going to?
No.
Why not? I am dying to know how that egomaniacal windbag thought you somehow weren't good enough for him.
Aiden tries to answer, but begins to choke on his food.
Oh my god, he's choking.
He does this all the time, ever since we were a kid. I got it.
Sarah gets up behind him and begins the Heimlich maneuver. She tries multiple times, but he's still choking.
Shit, I can't get it. Aiden!
Here, let me try.
Riley stands and tries the Heimlich maneuver also, on Aiden several times.
Sarah, can you see it?
I can't see anything.
It may be too far down. Sarah, call 911.
Oh, fuck.
They lay Aiden on the ground and they all freeze. Aiden sits up. Carter walks out on stage. Aiden joins him and the pair make their way around the set as the dialogue happens.
We need to talk, Aiden.
What's up, hon?
I don't think we should see each other anymore.
What?
You've been distant for months, and honestly, I'm really tired of dealing with your problems when I have my own.
What problems?
Your siblings never cared about me, and your friends have never liked me. They all lie to you instead of telling you the truth. I'm the only one who tells you the truth.
I can only listen to him, since nobody else cares about me like he does.
You never let me have my way in bed. I don't ask for much, and you don't even give me that.
I'm selfish for not letting him choke me, and not always being ready to bottom.
I'll tell you something, and you forget because there's nothing in your head but thoughts of yourself. You don't listen.
I'm a husk of a human. All I do is take up space in his life.
You know I love you, but I feel like you don't love me enough. And that hurts.
Aiden, can you hear me?
I'm not good enough for him.
Sometimes you go for a week without showering, and you're not eating very healthy foods. You don't even work out. It's your fault I'm not attracted to you.
It looks like he's coming around.
I smell bad. I look like crap. The entire gay community should be ashamed of me.
I've had bad things happen in my life too, but you don't see me still crying about them. Especially after 5 years. Man up and move on.
I'm still stuck on what happened with my parents. I just need to get over it.
It's clear you don't really love me, or else you would take better care of yourself. So you should just go. I'm sick of you hurting me.
Carter exits. Aiden lays back down as the scene comes back to life and he coughs as he sits up.
No, it looks like we don't need an ambulance. He's awake now.
5 years. Get over it.
Aiden begins to cry.
All I can do is think about Carter. All the things he said. I'm not really living. I haven't been for 5 years. Ever since Mom and Dad.
What are you saying, Aiden?
I think I need to see somebody. I need a counselor. I haven't seen one because I don't want to admit that I need help. I need help.
They comfort him.
Hey, Aiden, can I borrow your phone for a second?
Here, why?
Well, I'm just going to call Carter and murder him over the phone.
They begin a struggle for the phone as the lights fade out. Act 1, Scene 4. The lights come back up on Lucinda and Aiden in her office.
Wow. So, can I be frank?
Sure.
Carter's, what was it your friend Charlie said?
An asshole?
There was a descriptor though. Bleached. Yes. Carter really is a bleached asshole.
Yeah. That whole near-death experience really helped me realize that I may not have communicated clearly about things, but neither did he. He could have talked to me about all this stuff for the year and a half we were together, but instead he just bottled it up.
That's not the only thing, Aiden. The language he used, the way he phrased things, that's very narcissistic behavior. And from other things you've said he did, it also aligns with predatory behavior.
Like a sexual predator?
Yes. Him choking you and trying to push your sexual boundaries, him trying this quid pro quo for basic kindness like letting you stay over, him putting all the blame on you, saying you don't love him enough. Those are all signs of gaslighting, Aiden. A classic predator tactic.
Gaslighting? Like lying and stuff?
Lying and more. He made you believe only he was telling you the truth. He made you feel like you couldn't trust your siblings or your friends. Let me guess. He told you all the doubts you were feeling were just normal in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And in every argument, you always ended up apologizing, right? He'd always turn it around into something you were doing.
Okay, that's true, but...
And you even made excuses for him when it came to hurting you during sex. And I'm sure you made excuses to your friends about his behavior throughout your entire relationship.
Like, were you there? How do you know all this?
It's classic gaslighting, I'm telling you. I'm glad you told me because that means we have some work to do in getting your confidence back that he took from you. And you need to stay away from him while we do that.
How? I never thought, I feel so gullible.
It happens to the best of us, Aiden. Even me. Anyway, I'm glad you decided to tell me about everything Carter said. Did Lillian end up calling Carter?
No, I won the wrestling match because I wasn't wearing a dress. And then we played a bunch of Taylor Swift songs while we danced and got high.
As long as you don't always turn to substances to deal, I think that was a lovely way to help you out. It sounds like you have good siblings who really care about you.
I think so too. Anyway, we saw the newlyweds off on their plane, and then Riley and I flew back to Salt Lake.
The lights come up on Riley carrying Aiden's bags into the apartment while Han follows. Lights go out on Lucinda as Aiden joins them, typing on his phone.
Welcome to my shithole apartment.
Just then, Aiden notices Pinocchio, Riley's really cute little dog, sitting impatiently on the couch, so excited to see Aiden.
Pinocchio!
The two share a loving reunion. He sits on the couch with her and continues to pet her.
Oh, it's so good to see you, baby girl. Yes, it is. Who's a good girl? Isn't you? Yes, it is. Hello, Penny. Who gets good scratches for being a good girl? You do. Yes, you do.
She didn't even say hi to me.
I can scratch your belly and call you a good boy.
Hard pass. Anyway, here's your bags.
Thanks. You can just set them anywhere.
Thanks for the help, bro.
He sets the bags down. He's not very careful.
So, what's for dinner tonight? I'm starving.
Actually, I'm going to be making us all dinner. You'll have to let me know about any food allergies, but I'm planning on grilled salmon, mashed potatoes, and asparagus. Sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you, Han. Do you need any help?
Nope. I have specific instructions from Riley to take care of you tonight, so that's what I'm going to do.
Han exits. Aiden turns to Riley, immediately suspicious.
What? I'm not trying to set you up, but if you happen to really get along with Han, I wouldn't be disappointed.
Okay, first of all, Han? Like Han Solo?
Actually, yes, they're a big fan.
They changed their name legally to Han Solo.
No, they kept their original last name, but they changed their first name when they came out as gender neutral.
Oh, okay. So, like, are they gay or?
Does it matter?
Yes? Like, I'm a man who likes men?
So you're not even going to consider being with someone else, exploring your sexuality?
I'm actually really comfortable in my sexuality. Why are you trying to convince me to do something I'm not comfortable with?
I'm not. Why are you rejecting someone based on their gender identity?
Because I'm attracted to men.
Han can be masculine.
Does Han have a penis?
Oh my god, are you serious right now?
There's nothing wrong with being attracted to men who have penises.
You're just being really close-minded right now.
Whatever, dude, seriously. Not everyone can be like you and just experiment with all the people.
You're not even trying.
I'm not like you. That doesn't make me a bad person.
I'm not saying you're a bad person. Whatever. We can drop it. I don't want to fight.
Good. Let's just eat dinner.
The lights dim as Han brings on 3 plates of food and they sit at the kitchen table. The lights come back up full once they're seated.
How's Amanda, by the way?
She's good. I was going to see if she wanted to come, but she had to work.
Who's Amanda?
We all used to work together at the coffee shop down the block until Riley quit.
Riley, you quit your job?
I've been meaning to tell you. They were just giving off weird vibes around me.
Riley, you always do this. Do you have another job? Did you get another job before you quit? Do you have savings in the meantime?
Can we talk about this later?
It's okay, Riley. There's no need to be embarrassed. You were discriminated against, and you have every right to look for a place to work that's safe.
Yeah, that's nice in theory, but it's not like every place that he'll work will be nice to him.
That's pretty cynical.
Cynicism is usually what optimists call realism.
Pessimists usually find excuses for their cynicism by calling it realism.
And optimists turn quickly into pessimists when confronted with realists.
Unless the realist is actually in denial about being a pessimist.
The two stare at each other for a moment, grinning. Riley looks pleased.
Riley, maybe it would help if someone could go and advocate for you or something. Or I could just go to your old boss and yell at him until he gives you your job back.
Good idea, except that would be really embarrassing.
That sucks. I mean, even if you're not there?
Especially if I'm not there. I don't need a knight in shining rainbow armor, Aiden. I just need a job that recognizes me for who I am.
Well, then we'll be able to help Riley get a job tomorrow, I think. We'll all go job hunting together.
I'd rather not.
That sounds like a good plan.
I don't like it.
Too bad. You need a job. How can you afford your shithole if you don't pay rent?
You know, I've been looking for a roommate. I have a big living room and a dining room.
I don't know.
What's not to know? You get a job, and I bet Han would help you move in.
Why is it contingent on me getting a job?
I'm not asking you to move in so I can support you. You have to have a job where you can pay half of the rent and utilities, and we'll figure it out from there.
So, let's do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow's Saturday.
What's your point?
Lots of places don't have management on Saturday.
So we leave applications for them when they show up on Monday. Besides, a lot of places are hiring online.
I don't have a computer.
We can go to the public library.
I don't have a library card.
We can get you one.
Okay, but I don't even have an updated resume.
I can help you make one. Any other excuses?
What's that supposed to mean?
Exactly what I said. You come up with excuses to not search for a job, and then you turn around and have to borrow money from Sarah and Lillian. Yeah, Sarah told me.
I'm gonna use the restroom.
Han exits, looking back awkwardly.
Why did you have to say that in front of Han? That was super embarrassing.
Maybe you need to be embarrassed into doing the right thing. You can't just keep going from job to job without any direction. You didn't even try to go to school. Why not just...
I'm not you, Aiden. I can't just go to school and decide on what I want to do. That's right, I'm going to be 35 in a few months, and I have no idea what I want to do with my life. And don't you dare talk to me about avoiding things when that's all you do. If this is how you're going to treat me, you can head home early.
Riley, I'm not trying to attack you. I just don't want to see you suffer.
Well, too bad, because I exist, so I'm going to suffer my entire life. Especially because there are people who insist on misgendering me on purpose.
Fuck those people. All they see is genitals, which makes them super fucking gross.
Right, they're like penis or vagina is all I care about.
Oh, you're a child wanting to do sports? I need to see your junk. Fucking pedophiles. Anyway, I love you, bro. And I just don't want you to keep repeating the same mistakes.
I love you too, and I'm sorry I got mad. I just hate feeling so stuck. I mean, I was supposed to have so much accomplished by 30, and I'm 35 now, and I still haven't done anything.
You don't have to define yourself by other people's standards. I mean, you basically lived life as one person before realizing it wasn't you and had to start over. Besides, 30 isn't some magic number where you get your shit together.
Totally off the subject, but I think Con is into you. What do you think?
I think if I'm sleeping with someone, there'd need to be 2 penises between the 2 of us. I'd miss having another penis in the mix.
I know what you mean about missing a penis.
Just give it time, bro. I bet you'll have the best penis.
Aw, thanks, bro.
The lights come up on Lucinda in her office. Aiden moves over to her while speaking, and the lights fade out on the kitchen.
Anyway, that sealed the deal on me coming to therapy and when I got back to school this year. That whole thing with Riley helped me realize that I need help and I can't move forward if I don't get it.
Wow. That was a lot of information to take in, but I think I've got it. Care to hear what I think?
I'm both excited and scared.
Okay. First of all, I think it's important for you to recognize you were in an abusive relationship. It may not have been physical all the time, but it was definitely emotional and mental. And it's not your fault. But it becomes your responsibility to deal with its effects.
Wow. Okay, I think that's gonna take some getting used to. I don't really feel that way right now.
And that's fine. I will also say that you're presenting some very classic behaviors of grief, but I honestly don't think it's from the relationship. You've refused to mention your parents, and I won't make you, but I think it's something worth talking about.
I guess, eventually.
Carter, while really rude, said you weren't showering or taking care of yourself, which are signs of depression. we might want to explore that as well.
Okay.
Finally, I'm also seeing signs of cognitive distortions. You've got some perfectionism complex mixed in, and the way you act on that is to act like nothing's wrong. You're also underestimating your ability to cope, I think, which is why you refuse to talk about some things. You're doing some emotional reasoning where you hear something negative about yourself or feel something negative about yourself and assume it's true. Would it be fair to say what I've said just now hurt your feelings?
No. I'm okay.
All right, Aiden. Here's the deal. I want you to be completely honest with me, and in turn, I'll do the same. Is that a fair deal?
Sure.
Okay. So, did what I say hurt your feelings?
Yes.
I'm sorry. That's not my intention. I'm just helping you recognize some behaviors and thought patterns that can totally be changed with some work. I think it's worth it to set regular appointments this semester and begin working on these issues together. It'll be honest and difficult, and we'll have some uncomfortable conversations. But I think we can do this to help you feel better. How does that sound?
Sounds like a lot of work.
You know, I always talk about caretakers, people in nursing homes or live-in helpers or behavioral specialists that help people with special needs. They are so important in helping people take care of themselves, but most everybody else does that for themselves. And when they can't, I like to think that's where I step in to help them get back to being able to take care of themselves. Go ahead and schedule with my assistant on your way out, and I'll see you soon, okay?
Okay. Thanks, Lucinda.
Thanks. I think this will all be worth it.
Yeah, me too. I mean, now I have an opportunity to really focus on getting better. I mean, it's my senior year of college. What could possibly go wrong?
The lights fade out. Act 1, Scene 5. The lights come back up on the porch area. Aiden rushes out on stage and begins pacing.
Shit, fucking shit, no fucking way. Oh my God, this is not real. This cannot be happening. I can't deal with this. I should leave the class.
Aiden?
Shit, no, I needed to graduate. Another section? No, there aren't any. They only offer this class like every 3 years or something. What am I gonna do?
Aiden.
He said he was an English teacher, not an English professor. Those are two very different things, Jude. Fucking shit, fuck. I slept with my English professor.
Jude enters and approaches Aiden.
Hey, you left class pretty quickly. Can we talk?
Is that really such a good idea, Professor?
I think it's important we have a discussion. I was just heading for coffee. Join me?
The two wander slowly over to the restaurant table. 2 coffee mugs are waiting for them.
First of all, how are you?
Seriously?
Oh, okay. You're right. So here's the thing. When I first met you, I didn't think you were a student, and I was also not teaching at this university. That means our time together in May, it's completely okay. That being said, if I had known you were a student, I would not have gone home with you that night. And I'm really sorry if I made you uncomfortable.
I mean, it's not necessarily you that's making me uncomfortable, it's the fact. I've had sex with you, and you're my teacher. It's super weird.
Weird is the word, isn't it? I will say, I hope you don't transfer out of my class because of a little weirdness. I teach a mean writing workshop, if I do say so myself. I think you'll come out of it a better writer. So what do you say? Can you give this a chance?
Yeah, I'll stay in the class. I don't have a choice anyway if I want to graduate in spring.
I'm glad to hear it. Though, is it because you can overcome the weird or because you have no options?
I have no idea.
Well, I know I got a few text messages over the summer. How was it?
I'm still processing, but it helped me realize that I need counseling, so I had my first appointment yesterday. How about yours?
Oh, I had a blast exploring the town and the surrounding area. We went hiking in the Tetons, stayed in West Yellowstone, visited Yellowstone National Park. They have an amazing theater in West Yellowstone, and I got a cool bag of rocks. We went hiking around in the hills in the area, did some shopping, and then I learned there were better options in Idaho Falls and Salt Lake.
Who did you go with?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry. I met someone over the summer. We just started officially dating last month.
Oh. Well, cool, congrats! Did you two have fun in Salt Lake?
Yeah, we went to the aquarium while we were there. I wrote about it in my blog.
You have a blog? I'll totally subscribe.
I'll text you a link. You should text me a link to yours.
Oh, I don't have a blog.
So where do you write?
I do some writing for the school newspaper, but that's about it. I mean, other than school assignments.
English is your major, right?
Yes, I'm a dual major with human resources.
So why English? It doesn't sound like writing is very important to you.
What? Of course it is. Knowing how to effectively communicate is a huge part of living in our current world.
Why not go into mass communications or journalism or some other major?
Are you really going to make me question my major right now when I'm almost done with school?
I'm only trying to figure out why you picked English. If you only ever wanted to be human resources, you could have saved yourself a lot of English credits. There has to be a reason you double majored in English.
It was really important to let future employers know that I could communicate well and that I was a hard worker.
You never thought to pursue it just for yourself. It's solely for a career?
A career is for me.
What about hobbies? What do you like to do for fun?
I'm a dual major senior in college. I don't have fun. I have the option of taking a fun class next semester though, and I thought about bowling. But the stuff you were doing, hiking, blogging, traveling for fun, I don't do those things.
What about traveling to see your family? Was that fun?
It can't
Aiden is
be.
getting increasingly frustrated.
I just spend time hanging out when they weren't setting me up on dates.
Wouldn't a hobby have helped you kill the time?
Sure, but I was able to watch TV and movies, so
Did you read anything?
Facebook statuses and tweets.
No books. Do you like reading books?
Why? Is there something I'm doing that's not good enough for you?
Judah is taken aback by Aiden's tone of voice.
I'm sorry. I'm just naturally curious. I'm trying to figure out your motivations and desires. There are people in my class who've read libraries of books, who've written books of their own, who immerse themselves in the English language. I just don't see any of that in you, so I was wondering what drove you to an English major.
My mom loved books. She would read to me all the time, and then I would read to her. Especially the young adult books, but, well, I just don't read for pleasure anymore.
You know, that would fit in nicely with our last assignment, a narrative description of your childhood. And I can finally learn why you shy away from talking about your parents.
You noticed?
I noticed. Anyway, I think you're an interesting person, Aiden. And I'm glad I got to know you a little better. And again, sorry if all my questions were annoying. I've got to get back to class.
I'm gonna stay a little longer and work on a first assignment. Thanks for keeping me company and being interested.
Jude stands and waves goodbye. Aiden watches him go. As Jude gets outside, Carter walks onto the stage, looking around, holding a bouquet of flowers.
What's Carter doing here?
Carter sees Jude, and they embrace and kiss.
You've gotta be fucking kidding me.
The lights go out. Act 1, Scene 6. The lights come up on Aiden, Charlie, and Elise at the bar in their Halloween costumes.
All I'm saying is that I deserve a night off, and I shouldn't feel bad that they had to bring in somebody from out of town to attract a crowd. It's not my fault that I'm one of the only queens in this town with any talent.
I still can't get over that one queen who came on stage last week with her face all orange. Like she didn't even come close to matching her skin tone.
It's not like you do any good with makeup, Aiden. You have no idea what it takes, drag or otherwise.
I don't need to know how to do makeup to know that only Oompa Loompas and Donald Trump are fucking orange, Charlie.
Whatever. Drag queens don't need advice from men like you who can't even dress properly for Halloween.
Will you lay out the costume? I did what I wanted. I don't need you to judge me like your mother judges you.
Elise and Charlie are shocked.
Excuse me? Where the hell did that come from?
I'm sorry, I'm still really frustrated about Jude. I mean, he couldn't wait for me.
It's not like you told him to wait for you.
I said I was leaving for the summer. I didn't say I was never coming back, and oh, by the way, have my ex.
Who wants him anyway?
That guy, apparently.
Elise points off stage and they all look.
That's Carter. That's not Jude. Who's Carter dancing with?
Oh, that's August. He's the town bicycle. Speaking of which, I should call him.
Holy shit. Is he cheating on Jude? Did they break up?
Carter staggers onto the stage, clearly intoxicated. He sees Aiden, points dramatically, and makes his way over.
I guess this is happening.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Carter. You're here and drunk. Why are you here?
I'm celebrating my freedom, man. I was dating this guy, and I finally released him from his duties after he proved unworthy.
Unworthy of you? Perish the thought.
Hey, Charlie. Still aiming to be a bitter middle-aged drag queen?
No, it's sweet you noticed. Go hug a landmine.
What are you doing here, Carter?
There's Aiden.
You didn't even know I was here.
Well, I was gonna stop by after I got done here.
Really? After all the things you said were wrong with me, I thought I was a lost cause.
Oh, you know, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Besides, you look like you finally lost weight.
He begins drinking Aiden's drink.
How have you been?
Much better, actually, now that I'm not in a relationship with you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I can't believe the stuff I put up with in our relationship. I let you tell me I was wrong all the time, and I believed it.
Hey, I just call it like I see it.
And you choked me during sex, even after I told you I didn't like it.
Come on, it's not a big deal. It's a sex thing.
It's a big deal to me when I can't breathe, Carter.
Okay, whatever. Look, if I hurt you, I didn't mean to. It makes me feel really bad.
How do you think it makes me feel?
Well, I don't know.
Also pretty crappy, Carter. Come on, why are you really here?
Well, I was looking for a good time, and now I'm remembering all the good times we had together.
He clumsily strokes Aiden's face, and Aiden stands.
Do not touch me, Carter. I'm not sleeping with you again, whether you're drunk or sober.
Come on, we could have one last fling or something.
Oh my God, Carter, I don't want to sleep with you. I won't forget the bruises you left on me.
Come on, I know what I like, and you seem to like it.
He reaches out again, but Aiden jumps out of his way.
No, Carter, I never did. And I told you that multiple times. You know, you broke up with me because I have all these issues, and I do. But you aren't addressing your issues. You physically abused me.
Oh, come on, you're just...
Say it! Say you abused me. People should know.
Carter grabs Aiden's arm to get him to be quiet. Charlie and Elise both stand, but Aiden waves them down. Aiden grabs his drink, then shoves Carter, who falls to the floor.
Hey!
And you mentally and emotionally abused me by laying the breakup entirely at my feet. It takes two to end a relationship, Carter, and you threw everything on me and somehow made all my issues about you. Oh my God, it's like I'm seeing you for the first time. You're so selfish and shit jerk. You're a selfish shit jerk dick fucker. A selfish shit jerk dick fucker, and you can just go fuck yourself.
Aiden sees Elise. She makes a motion with her hands, and Aiden throws his water in Carter's face. Carter stands up in shock and advances on Aiden, but Charlie and Elise get in his way.
That means you go now.
Fine. I'll go. This isn't over, Aiden.
Oh, it's definitely over. But make sure to make this all about you, like everything else.
Carter storms out.
Hey, potato face! How does it feel knowing the only person you'll ever make happy is the person digging your grave?
Aiden and Elise stare at Charlie.
What? I've been thinking of things to say to him since May, bitches.
So, how did that feel?
Aiden blinks.
A selfish shit jerk dick fucker.
You did your best in the moment, and you got to splash a drink in his face. I'm so proud of you. I even got it on video.
He hands Aiden his phone.
Wait, why do you have my phone?
I've had your phone all night, sweetie.
Whatever. Anyway, now I've got closure.
And you got to splash a drink in his face. Seriously, you should check out the video.
I can't believe he dumped Jude.
Jude probably broke up with him. Carter lives in Carter land where he sees what he wants to see.
Either way, that means Jude is single, And they won't technically be your teacher at the end of the semester.
So what? I should be like, hey, can you give me an A and date me?
You should offer to bend over for him again. I bet he'd give you an A for that.
Charlie, Aiden told you he's not a bottom.
Oh, sweetie, such a naive little fag hag.
Elise picks up her drink and, after getting a shrug from Aiden, decides to throw the drink in his face.
I am not a fag hag, I'm a queer queen, and you're damn lucky to have me as a friend.
Elise, I'm wearing skin-tight white. Everyone's going to see my dick.
Everyone's already seen your dick, Charlie.
Wow. Yeah. Oh well. For seeing dicks as they are.
And to splashing drinks in their faces.
And for finally getting closure.
They all take a drink and the lights fade out. Act 1, Scene 7. The lights come up on Lucinda and Aiden sitting in her office.
So, this is your last session. By my records, we've met 15 times this semester. We've talked a lot about healthy behaviors moving forward. We talked about your depression. How are you doing on the medication, by the way?
Really well. The first one didn't take, but the second one's really helped me not feel so low. I actually feel like happy.
That's amazing. So, this whole semester has been a lot of work for you. What did you want to talk about today?
I've actually been working on an English assignment that I think ties into what we were talking about last time. My family, my parents.
I'm so glad you're going to tell me. I haven't wanted to be pushy, but I wanted to know what's going on ever since your first session. That being said, I want you to make sure you're ready to talk about them. I don't want you to push yourself too hard.
I'll be okay. I think anyway. It's been 5 years.
It's been 5 years since what, Aiden?
Since they died.
The following long monologue would best be pre-recorded. As the monologue is read, Aiden steps away from Lucinda's office and joins his siblings on stage as they are introduced. They participate in the actions as the voiceover describes what happened on the day his parents died.
My childhood was beautiful. I was an unexpected child to a 40-year-old mother and a 43-year-old father. I was never loved any less because of this. I remember being pushed on a swing until I jumped out and my father caught me. I couldn't stop giggling. My mother and I loved to read together. My sister, Sarah, is like a second mother. My other sister, Riley, is not a sister at all, but a brother that just seems unhappy all the time. All of these memories are compressed into a place called the before. The before is an infinitesimal amount of time in my life. It is, and always will be, tainted and overshadowed by the gargantuan blob called the accident.
Aiden steps away from Lucinda's office at this point.
I'm at a party when I get the call from Sarah. "Where are you?" Sarah asks me. "I'm kind of busy," I reply, annoyed. "I need to come pick you up," she tells me. Something in her voice gives me pause. "What's wrong?" Sarah's answer sends chills all over my body. "Mom and Dad have been in an accident. I need to come pick you up so we can go to the hospital." I tell her to hurry, and she does. On the drive to the hospital, I demand to know what's going on. Apparently, Mom and Dad hit some farm equipment on their way home. I don't know anything else. The drive to the hospital seems to be only seconds, but also takes years. And then, time stops altogether as we enter the emergency room. Riley's on the floor, wailing. He says words, but I can't understand them. He has to say them over and over and over again until I understand. Dad's dead. Memories flash in my mind. My dad and I are making grilled cheese sandwiches. The secret is to put butter on both sides of the bread, he tells me with a grin, then keep the burner on low so the cheese melts. Dad and I are supposed to build a rocket for my physics final. It won't happen. I tell my father I'm gay and he says, "Okay, do you still want chili for dinner?" Riley is holding me as I ask about Mom. "She's still in surgery," he tells me. Riley has more information about the accident. They hit a combine harvester head on. Dad was trying to pass someone and he didn't see it. I try not to blame Dad for being an impatient driver as we wait. Finally, the doctor steps through the doors at the end of the hallway. Her hair is gray in all the same places as my mother's. I don't need to hear the words. Her head is bowed and defeat is written across her face. But she tells us anyway. The doctor orphans us, and I hate her for it. I remember Mom and I had just started reading Great Expectations, but we won't finish. She shows up to school one day and checks me out to go get ice cream because she misses me and wants to catch up. I tell her I'm gay, and she says, "I know, honey. I'm only worried about how hard life is going to be for you." I remember singing in the car with Mom and Dad on the road to our house, the same one where Dad always sped. I'm an orphan. We're all orphans, and all we can do is hold each other.
Aiden steps away from his siblings. Jude appears quietly at a table. This monologue is spoken out loud and not pre-recorded. As he nears the end, Aiden moves to the other side of the stage and joins Jude at a coffee shop table.
It's at this moment I realize not feeling is easier. This becomes my life in the after. The after is nothing. The after is a bitterly cold fog and an endless maze of despair. And I've felt this way for over 5 years. Lost, confused, sad, and alone, but this can't be my life. So I just started to try. I talk to people. I tell stories and I see friends. I drink coffee. I make love. Someday, the after will be brighter, and I will feel like I used to. Hopeful, filled with love and light. I have to hope for something, and then something else. And soon, my life will be something instead of nothing. The after may be something after all. It has to be.
Aiden wipes his eyes and sits down at the table with Jude.
Wow, sorry. I didn't realize that would be so overwhelming. Thanks for listening.
Thank you for reading it to me. That was really brave and raw.
He reaches his hand out and squeezes Aiden's arm, then quickly withdraws it.
Can I ask you some questions?
Sure.
Your parents, what were their names?
Evie and Rich. What about your parents?
Okay. Do you mean the people who brought me into this world or the people who brought me up in it?
Both, I guess.
Well, my birth mother was 16 when I was born, and she claims some guy named Roger is my dad, but she hasn't kept in touch and doesn't know where to find him. My parents are Ruth and Paul. They adopted me shortly after I was born.
What was that like?
They never lied to me about where I came from, and they warned me that April likely wouldn't want any contact from me. They were right.
She didn't want to talk to you? Why not?
It was a reminder of a lack of options. She wanted an abortion, but they weren't available anywhere near where she lived. Plus, her parents didn't believe in it, so they forced her to carry me to term. She has her own family now. They don't know about me. She asked me to keep it that way.
That just seems so selfish.
It's her body. While she resented her choice being taken away, I'm grateful she cared enough to seek out a loving couple to adopt me. Ruth and Paul are amazing people and amazing parents. Wow. I was asking you about your parents, and you got me talking about mine.
I guess I was the curious one this time. I'm sorry about all the stuff you faced growing up.
We each face our hardships, but I still have my parents. I'm so sorry about yours. I remember you said you had a counseling appointment before this. Can I ask how that's going for you? It seems like you're doing well.
I'm doing better. It's been really eye-opening because I'm not just going there and getting magically fixed, but I'm getting the tools to fix myself. It's harder work, but I think that's what's making it stick. What about you? What's up with you? I know you said you were seeing someone. How's that going?
Oh, I broke up with him. Yeah, turns out he was a narcissistic jerk.
Oh, good. I mean, not good that he was a narcissist, but good that you got away from him. Anyways, I have something to give you. Merry Christmas.
He reaches in his bag and pulls out a gift bag for Jude.
You didn't have to give me anything.
I know, but it felt like the right thing to do.
Jude opens the bag.
Oh, and if you don't like it, Sarah helped me pick it out, so it's her fault.
And it's beautiful.
He holds up the Idaho Christmas ornament.
I figured it was your first Christmas in Idaho, so it was appropriate. But you're also a grown-up, so I didn't make you one out of paper mache.
I would have loved it either way.
He senses he may have just said something he shouldn't have.
You know, I don't even have a Christmas tree.
Oh, that's fine. You can hang it anywhere. You do celebrate Christmas, right? Oh, Jesus Christ, did I just give a Jewish person a Christmas gift?
No, I celebrate Christmas. Not the Christian part of it, but the family part of it. I didn't have a reason for a tree or anything. Now I do.
You don't have to get a tree just because I gave you an ornament.
Well, it gives me an excuse to decorate a little. Get into the holiday spirit. Thank you, Aiden. It's a very thoughtful gift.
I'm glad you like it. I picked it out without any help.
Uh-huh. Now, it's funny you give me something, because I actually got something for you.
Jude pulls out a gift bag from his bag.
And if you don't like it, I'll totally keep it for myself.
Opening the bag, Aiden says,
It's a book. With no words. It's the worst book ever.
Ha ha. It's a journal. You said at the beginning of the semester you don't have a blog or a journal or anything. I thought you might like to try it. Writing about your day or your reflections can be really cathartic, and it helps you find your voice.
Speaking of expressing myself, I wanted to tell you how much I appreciate all the time you've spent with me this semester. I feel like I learned a lot more about writing, and that includes how important it is to be honest. So, I figure I should probably tell you that I know who you were dating.
Oh?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Carter's your ex? You mean... Oh my God!
I didn't want to tell you because I didn't want to ruin it if it was going to work out, but I also wish I'd said something because Carter was...
Abusive? Did he abuse you too? Oh my God! I can't believe this, Aiden. Why didn't you tell me? Especially since you knew he was abusive.
I didn't know until I started going to therapy. And I thought, well, if he made you happy, how is it my place
Is
to tell
anyone in an abusive relationship happy, Aiden? I mean, seriously, I don't want to blame you for my choices, but if I'd known, if you had told me what he was like in bed, and then there at the end...
Did you break up with him?
You bet your ass I did. And he tried to turn it all around and make the breakup all about my problems, and I wouldn't stand for it. So we got physical.
What? I'm really sorry, Jude. I wish I'd been brave enough to say something. It didn't seem like my business.
I can see where you're coming from, and I appreciate it. But if you know someone's an abuser, you have every right to tell someone considering getting into a relationship. You would have saved me several months of total bullshit.
I know. I also didn't want you to think I was just trying to break you up so you could get together with me.
Aiden, we can't be together.
But I thought if I wasn't your student, then...
You're still a student, Aiden. And it's against university ethics policy for students and professors to date if they're in the same department. And it's especially against the rules if the professor is teaching the student.
But you're not teaching me now, and I'm graduating in the spring, so I thought...
You thought what? We could date in secret? Keep meeting like this? Aiden, you know I care about you, but spending this time with you outside of school, it wouldn't be good for me.
What do you mean?
Do you know how hard it is to meet with you about these assignments and get to know you? It makes me want to continue where we left off in May, but that's not possible. I thought you knew that. I thought my job and my work mattered to you more.
They do. I've also held back, dude.
Yeah, you've held back on the truth. This whole semester has been a struggle to balance out my feelings for you and my relationship with Carter and maintaining a professional stance every time I see you. And the whole time you knew what Carter was capable of, and you never...
I'm sorry that you're struggling, Jude. I didn't mean for any of this to happen.
I'm not blaming you for anything. It's my fault. I haven't set clear enough boundaries. You are my student, I am your teacher. And if you can't understand those boundaries, then I really can't have anything to do with you. I'm sorry to...
I understand.
He begins leaving in a rush.
No, it's not because I don't...
It's fine, Dr. Matthews. Maybe I'll see you around the English department.
Can we talk?
Aiden exits, leaving his book bag. Jude picks it up and holds it out to Aiden as he enters again in a huff.
Why can't I storm out dramatically like in the movies? God!
Aiden exits End of Act 1.
And now, friends, Act 2.
Act 2, Scene 1. Aiden enters his apartment to find Charlie and Elise sitting down to dinner.
You're just in time for dinner. I made chicken pot pies, heated the oven myself.
What's going on?
Jude, he says he's my teacher and I'm his student, and that he can't have anything to do with me anymore.
What a fucking asshole.
I can understand why he did it, though.
Just when I'm making progress towards being happy, it feels like the whole world comes down and slaps me in the face.
That doesn't mean you need to give up, Aiden. Jude's just trying to protect you.
He's trying to protect himself.
Aiden picks up his plate of food and throws it off stage where it shatters. His anger is intense.
This whole semester I've been trying to open up more because of him. He's the one who helped me see how wonderful it is to be open and honest with someone. We make love for fuck's sake. I love him, and now he's pushing me away because he can't deal with his own feelings. Well, fuck him. I don't ever want to see him again.
Elise and Charlie are shocked.
Eden,
They've never seen him lose his temper like this.
Aiden, you need to take a breath. This actually proves that Jude cares about you a lot.
In what world does that shit make sense?
Think about it. If he crossed the teacher-student boundary with you, he would lose his job, and you'd probably have to take that class again. They would think you've been in a relationship, and a professor shouldn't have any influence over the grades of someone they're dating. Jude probably is trying to avoid both of you getting into trouble, especially where he's just starting out his teaching career.
I don't care. I don't want to be with him anymore.
Charlie decides to get angry right back.
Don't you fucking shut down again, god damn it. You have become 10 times the person I ever thought you could be just by opening up, and that progress is worth it. For yourself, not for anyone else. You're becoming who you probably would have been if your parents hadn't died, Aiden, and that's a really decent human being.
Elise looks affectionately at Charlie.
I think so too, Aiden.
Thank you, Elise. All the effort you've been making these past few months isn't for Jude at all, it's for you.
Aiden sinks down onto the floor.
Sorry about your plate, Elise.
Elise and Charlie move to sit down next to him.
Meh, they were hand-me-downs from my parents. We can get new plates, but we can't get another you. Aiden, so please, try to remember that the world may be dealing you a really shitty hand right now, but you can't let the world tell you how to live your life.
Yeah, fuck the world. You live your best life in spite of all the shit it throws at you. Because along with the bad stuff is good stuff, like us, and alcohol.
And Jude, I know you're mad at him now, but that will change. You know, I think graduation is going to be a very important day for you two, because you won't be a student anymore, and he can tell you exactly how he feels.
Graduation. Huh.
Of course, there could always be the awkward run-in in the English department before you see him at graduation.
Thanks, Charlie.
Or you could see him at graduation and he just breezes on by and into the arms of some...
Thanks, Charlie.
Right.
The lights fade out. Act 2, Scene 2. The lights come up on Aiden on a video call with Sarah. Sarah is on one side of the stage with Aiden in the middle on the couch.
So, now you know everything that's been going on this last semester.
Okay, let me just... You slept with your English teacher?
Okay, oh my god, calm down. He wasn't my teacher when we slept together.
Didn't you ask what he did before you stooped?
Yes, I did. And he said he was an English teacher. Very different from an English professor. I blame him for this whole thing.
The phone rings.
Oh, it's Riley.
Yes, let's see what he makes of this.
Riley steps on stage opposite Sarah, holding his phone.
Hey, Aiden, so what the actual fuck are you doing?
He wasn't my professor at the time, and nothing has happened since other than coffee.
But is he interested in you?
I think so, but he had a boyfriend. Actually, he had my ex-boyfriend. He was dating Carter.
What?
But then they broke up. Halloween night, actually. That's when I splashed a drink in his face.
Jude or Carter's?
Carter's face. Didn't you see the video? It went semi-viral.
Was it on Facebook?
It was everywhere. Okay, so what are you going to do? You haven't slept with Jude since then, have you?
Aiden goes to answer but can't get a word in. He can actually choose to go sit somewhere else, set the phone down, even wander off stage until they call him back.
No, they've been having coffee apparently.
Is that a code for sex?
Aiden says it's not, but I don't know if I believe him.
Hey, look him up on the school website. There's a picture. He's really cute. He's wearing a little sweater vest.
Oh, that does sound cute. Do you think Aiden should go for it?
If he does, he should wait until graduation. That way it's okay.
I don't think he should. He should leave this guy alone and let him be. What's his last name?
Matthews.
Looking him up now. By the way, Riley, how's your job going?
So good. And living with Han is domestic bliss. We just really click, you know? Like the chores they like to do are chores I don't like and vice versa.
You know, Lillian and I started out that way, just roommates. I wonder if it's not...
No, Sarah. Not every emotionally intimate relationship needs to turn romantic. That being said, I have been getting nervous around Han more and more.
Oh my god, I found him! Ooh, I like his credentials. Aiden, he's very smart and hardworking. Oh, and you're right, that is a cute little sweater vest.
Aiden?
Aiden, where'd he go?
Oh, are you guys finally done talking about me?
Oh, you're so fucking dramatic sometimes. Anyway, I think you should let him come to you, but Riley thinks you should go for it, especially now that he's single.
Yeah, but you forget, he's mad at me. He blames me for the fact that he got into an abusive relationship with an asshole.
You can't take responsibility for his decisions.
Still, yeah, a heads up would have been nice.
Other people's relationships are not everybody else's business.
It should be someone's business when they have a history of abuse and narcissism. Like, nobody wants to be in a relationship with that.
Aiden tries a few times to get a word in again, but sets the phone down and walks off stage, this time for good. The lights slowly fade out as Sarah and Riley continue arguing.
Oh my god, this is just like the time you tried to get me to break up with Vanessa by saying she was a psychopath.
She literally put a bug in your car to follow you around Chicago to see if you were meeting with other women. Like, she doesn't work for the FBI. How did she even get one of those?
She only did that because I was meeting with Susan and Carol, and she thought they were trying to break us up.
They were. We had all banded together to get you away from her.
Whatever. Besides, what about you and Robert?
Oh, fuck you for bringing him up. He lied to me from the very beginning. How was I supposed to know he was married with kids?
There were definitely signs, Riley. You just chose to ignore them.
Like, you chose to ignore the signs, Vanessa was crazy.
That is your opinion.
Oh, so my opinion doesn't matter.
Oh my god, Riley, you're as dramatic as Aiden sometimes.
Riley and Sarah begin speaking at the same time and try speaking over each other to be heard. The lights can go out at any time during their monologues.
You
know,
always
this
say
is
that
just
you
like the
value
time
my opinion
you
because
made
I'm
me
younger
about
than you.
me and
You
the
all
lights
hate
fade
it.
out.
You need
never
dramatic
listen
because
to
we have
me.
valid
I
points.
told
The
you
lights
being
fade
passionate.
out.
We don't get loud.
No wonder I don't like
And the lights fade out.
I got grounded for a month.
Act 2, Scene 3. The lights come up on Jude sitting at the coffee shop with a coffee cup. Elise enters and sits down across from him.
Hi, I'm sorry to bother you, but we have to talk.
I'm sure you're here out of a sense of duty to your friend, but, well, I said everything I needed to say to him.
Bullshit, Professor.
Excuse me?
You didn't say what you really meant. Aiden told me you wanted to continue talking, but he left. What did you want to say to him?
What I wanted to say was for Aiden alone.
Well, he went back to therapy because of your fight. He feels awful that he didn't say anything to you about Carter's abuse. He's taking everything that happened in your relationship with Carter on himself.
Well, I thought about it more, and it is really unfair of me to expect him to save me. I mean, I don't need saving. I was able to get out of the relationship, and I'm healthy enough to know that the breakup wasn't my fault.
That's good that you have that. Aiden didn't have that. You remember the morning after you two got together? I think Aiden wasn't only crying because he felt bad about the breakup. He felt good about his night with you. You made him feel really cared about, and he hasn't felt that for a long time. He told me that he decided he needed therapy after he choked his sister's wedding, but...
Like he choked on Food or a speech?
Food. He passed out and everything. And I'm sure that was serious for him, but I honestly think he got the idea for therapy after your night together, because he realized how good things could be.
Really?
I've seen you two together. He talks about you a lot. And even though I know therapy has helped him a lot, the time you two have been spending together working on his assignments has also really helped him open up. I think you're his penguin.
Penguin, like mating for life thing?
Oh my god, you are perfect! You know about penguins. Do you know if lobsters are the same way? Because I heard that...
Look, I appreciate you coming to talk to me, but Aiden lied to me. Trust is a big thing for me, and he broke my trust.
Would you really have felt comfortable telling Aiden that he needed to break up with his new boyfriend because he was abusive? Or would you have seen it as him trying just to break up your relationship?
If it had happened in August, I probably wouldn't have believed him.
Police gestures at him as if to say, there you go.
But that doesn't mean that when I eventually broke up with him, I wouldn't have apologized to Aiden and asked him to forgive me.
The same way Aiden apologized to you and was hoping for your forgiveness?
Okay, are you a lawyer or something?
Chemistry major, but my dad is a lawyer. Why? Are my arguments making sense?
Well, yeah. I'm thinking I may need to reach out to Aiden, but
But what?
he's a student and I'm a professor. This university has a strict ethics code. I mean, it's really backwards. I think it was drafted in the 50s and never changed.
That sounds like almost everything in Idaho. Anyway, you're the creative writer. Figure out a way to communicate with him indirectly, but where he can still see it. Don't you have a blog?
You must really care about him to come to talk to me about all this.
He was there for me when no one else was. He still sometimes tries to coddle me because of my cerebral palsy, but he doesn't talk down to me or treat me like I'm stupid because of it. He's the best man I know.
Okay. Thank you for coming by. Honestly, you've given me a lot to think about.
Anything I can relay back to Aiden? A message, a limerick, a confession of your sins, and a promise to at least talk to him at graduation?
You know, I'm a pretty private person. I'm not used to all this side interference in my relationships.
Well, be thankful it was me that came here and not Charlie.
Yeah, I remember him. Thank you for not sending him.
Yet.
What?
What? I've got things to do. Bye.
Elise exits and Jude looks thoughtfully after her. Then he pulls out a notebook or laptop and begins to write.
To whom it may concern.
The lights fade out. Act 2, Scene 4. The lights come up on Aiden sitting in his apartment working on homework. Charlie walks in without knocking.
Hey, bitch.
Hey,
What you doing?
homework.
Oh. I thought you would have been interested to see Jude's latest blog post.
He hands Aiden the phone.
This is my phone. How did you get it?
Just read the blog.
To whom it may concern.
Ew, not out loud.
Jude's voice sounds over the speakers as Aiden looks at his phone. Aiden begins pacing as he reads. Jude can appear on stage at some point, writing the post somehow.
To whom it may concern. All of my life, I've never been one for wishing. And right now, my mind, body, and soul are filled with unfulfilled wishes. I wish I'd been able to tell you how much that night meant to me. I wish I'd been able to tell you that I was awake, that I saw you, and that you were not alone. I wish our time together hadn't ended, especially with a fight. I wish I could tell you how sorry I am, that it wasn't your fault, and that I had no right to lay blame at your feet. I wish I could tell you all of the changes I've seen in you since we first met, how open you are, how freeing it is to talk to you, how looking into your eyes, it's like looking into hope itself.
What the hell? Who is he talking about?
Oh my God, Aiden.
Aiden keeps reading.
I wish I could tell you how I feel about our time together, how much it's meant to me to have a friend in a new place. I wish I could explain how much I loved being with you in those moments filled with laughter. I wish I could tell you how lonely I've been without your smile, your laugh, your earnest heart. I wish I could tell you right now that I want you and only you. I want you to overwhelm my senses again. Make me feel the complete ecstasy that I felt when we were together. But most of all, I wish from the bottom of my heart that you find happiness. And all I can do is wish that happiness will be with me.
Aiden looks up from his phone. He and Charlie stare at each other for a moment.
What the fuck?
What do you mean, what the fuck? He's writing about you!
Or it could be a love letter to his ex-boyfriend, Charlie. Nowhere in this letter does it mention me or anything specifically tied to our time together.
What about the fight, babe?
He had a fight with Carter, doll. That's why they broke up.
What about the part of feeling complete ecstasy when he was with you, sweetie?
Again, it could be about Carter. Face. He's good in bed.
Okay, but like, your IQ is lower than my standards.
I'm not going to get my hopes up that it's about me, Charlie, because I can't. What if it isn't about me? Do you know what that's going to do to me?
But what if it is about you and you miss your opportunity to tell him how you really feel? He's basically written a love letter here, and if his feelings are about you, then that means you really like each other. Hell, it sounds like he's in love with you.
Well, that would be great, because I'm in love with him too.
Charlie gapes at him.
Oh my God, you love him? Like honest to goodness love.
I guess so.
Charlie begins dancing around and singing.
Aiden's in love, Aiden's in love. I've only great sex, but Aiden's in love.
Stop that! Look, even after everything, do I still want to be with him? Yes. If that letter is about me, that means he's sorry for blaming me for the whole thing about Carter. Or he's sorry that he fought with Carter. Oh, why couldn't he just say my name in the post?
Because obviously that would mean he would have to acknowledge your relationship. And who knows who's keeping tabs on him at the university.
Right. I know you're right.
I'm always right. And I'm telling you, this blog is about you. So what are you gonna do about it, bitch?
Well, I guess I can talk to him at graduation.
You're not going to reply.
I can't. My username is my name.
Damn. Well, I guess graduation really is as good a time as any to, you know, decide your entire love life. I'll plan a party after, and I'll make sure you have a drink you can splash in his face if it goes south.
Aiden hugs Charlie.
In the weirdest way, you're a great friend.
Ew, affection, make it stop.
Aiden hugs Charlie harder as the lights fade out. Act 2, Scene 5. The lights come back up on Aiden and Lucinda. Lucinda is looking at Aiden's cell phone.
Well,
I'm still reading.
Aiden taps his fingers, his foot, his everything impatiently.
Okay.
sweet Jesus.
I can honestly say, I don't know if this is about you, but given what you've told me about Jude and your relationship with him, it's definitely about you. I think. Possibly.
You don't know for sure?
I don't know what it's like to be in Jude's mind, so I can't say for certain what he's thinking. It's clear he regrets something, but that could be the whole situation with you, or it could be that he's unable to be with you.
That means he either loves me or he doesn't. One is going to be amazing and the other's going to suck a giant donkey dick.
That's graphic. Either way this goes, I think you'll be just fine.
You really think so?
I know so. Now, our time is up, but is there anything you want to talk about before I send you out into the world?
Do you think my parents would be proud of how I handled this?
I can't speak for your parents. All I know is that graduation is in a month, and I will be there to support you from afar, okay? This is our last session. I can see the progress you've made, and I want you to know that I am proud of you. It sounds like you've got amazing support, and you've got my support as well. You worked really hard and came really far this year, Aiden. I'm so glad you've taken the tools I've given and run with them.
What if it's not enough?
Lucinda stands and Aiden follows suit.
Aiden, I have every confidence that you will make the right choice in life, partner. You now know that you are deserving in love, and more than that, You are getting better every day at loving yourself. You have a lot to offer someone, and Jude would be lucky to be your boyfriend or whatever you want to call him. You know, what I do think you need is a mom hug. Can I give you one?
Really? A mom hug?
I'm old enough to be your mother, you know, and I have kids of my own. And I would be proud to call you one of my own.
Aiden walks forward into her embrace. After a moment, Aiden begins to cry. A good cry. Lucinda comforts him, and finally they break apart.
Feel better?
I haven't had one of those in 6 years. I never thought I'd have one again.
There are plenty of mom groups out there that I'm sure would be more than happy to provide you with a mom hug whenever you need one. I bet they have them in Springfield, too. Speaking of which, how's packing?
It's almost done. Elise and Charlie are already getting things set up in the apartment. And Charlie's just waiting for me to officially move out so that he can move in. I think it was a good decision.
Any job prospects?
None yet, but Sarah and Lillian are letting me stay with them until I get it all figured out.
Well, don't be afraid to send me an email every once in a while to let me know how you're doing. I'll be especially curious to know how things turn out with you and Jude.
You really think the blog post was about me?
Most definitely, possibly. For sure.
Aiden laughs, hugs Lucinda one last time, and the lights go out. Act 2, Scene 6. When the lights come back up, Charlie, Elise, Riley, holding Pinocchio, Han, Sarah, and Lillian are all gathered together, looking toward the audience in anticipation. We hear an announcement. Graduating with a double major in Human Resources and English, Aiden Anthony Lawrence. Woo! They all make various very loud celebratory sounds, except for Han, who politely claps. There's an air horn somewhere, probably strobe lights. Aiden steps onto the stage in his graduation gown, shaking his head. Jude enters from the other side of the stage.
I seriously cannot believe that you're my people. Everyone is staring at you.
Not everyone.
She points at Jude.
Hey. Well, I guess we should talk.
Do we have to talk right this second? Because there's something I've been wanting to do for over a year now.
What?
Jude walks toward Aiden without a word and pulls him into a passionate kiss. His family and friends gasp and cheer and say supportive things. Finally, Jude pulls away.
Now, we have some things to talk about, but I just needed to do that first.
I'm all right with it. Do it again!
We don't need to watch them kiss, Charlie.
Speak for yourself. This is the most action I've gotten in months.
Is there somewhere we can talk?
Sure. Probably away from this crowd would be best.
Oh, sure, make us miss all the good stuff.
Listen, I'm so glad I found you. I hear you're moving to Springfield after you graduate?
How did you know that?
Probably shouldn't say.
He glances at the group of people behind him.
Oh, really?
He turns to the group.
Confess.
One by one, Charlie, Elise, Sarah, Lillian, and Riley raise their hands guiltily. Then Han.
I didn't actually, but I was there when Riley did it, so I feel guilty.
You seriously can't just mind your own business and let me handle this? How did some of you even contact him?
I emailed him.
I got his number from Charlie.
Yeah, me too.
I went to him in person.
Charlie, how did you get his number?
From your phone. Speaking of which,
He hands Aiden his cell phone.
How do you do that? Never mind. Why are any of you getting into my business in the first place? I can handle my own love life, thank you very much. All right, maybe not before, but I can do this now.
Then do it. You haven't told him how you feel yet.
Yeah, we're waiting.
Oh, and don't even think about running away. We will follow you.
We just want to make sure you don't mess it up.
Aiden turns back to Jude.
No pressure. You had something you wanted to say to me?
Yeah, well, I didn't expect it to go down like this, but, well, here it goes. I don't want to freak you out and use the wrong word because I really care about you. Like a ton. I have ever since we met last year. And the fall semester was awesome and really fun. And I got to know you and I care about you even more. And then Christmas happened and I was so mad, but I also understand. And I'm still sorry. I have missed you so much. You supported me more in the past year than any guy I've ever been with. I want to be with you, Jude. Is that something you're interested in?
I told you you need to read more, Aiden. I've been writing in my blog this whole semester, hoping you'd see it and know how I actually felt.
So it was about me. Everyone thought so, but it was so cryptic.
I did everything but call you out by name. I'm amazed you made it through being an English major without being able to pick up on context clues.
Hey, I passed your class.
Anyway, I want to be with you too. If my kiss didn't make it clear. I'm just so glad you're not a student anymore.
But I'm moving to Springfield now. What are you gonna do?
Well, this year has been great, but I started job searching 2 months ago. I've had an offer in Boston and one in St. Louis.
Hey, St. Louis is only like an hour and a half from Springfield.
I accounted for that. So, do you think we can make the distance work?
Oh yeah. I don't have a job yet in Springfield, but I could definitely expand my search to St. Louis.
So, are we official?
We're official.
It's about time.
Seriously, he's been obsessing since the beginning of the school year.
You've really got him to open up, man. You're awesome.
And handsome.
Everyone agrees, except Lillian, who makes a so-so gesture.
You're all very sweet.
Sometimes. Once you get to know them better, you'll probably want some alone time.
Actually, I'm an only child, so I'd love to have a big family around all the time.
You hear that, Aiden? You better start popping them out.
Charlie, he's told you over and over that he's versatile. He's not a bottom.
Actually, I am. I'll just be honest, I really am a bottom.
I'm so proud of you for admitting it.
He gives Aiden a hug.
And I'm so proud of you for graduating in 4 years.
She joins the hug. All at once, his siblings and their significant others join the hug until there's a glom of people on the stage and Jude. Several hands reach out to grab Jude and he's pulled into the hug. The lights go out. Act 2, Scene 7. The lights come up on Sarah, Lillian, Riley, Pawn, and Aiden sitting on the couch in chairs while Jude does charades.
Having a baby.
Giving birth.
Diarrhea.
Blood sex.
A bell rings.
Schitt's Creek!
Oh.
I could have told you that. Same. Maybe we should switch teams. I feel bad for Aiden and Sarah.
Oh, don't feel too bad for her. Yet. She's going to need all the help she can get here in a few months.
What?
What do you mean? What's wrong?
Nothing's wrong. In fact, everything went right. We did in vitro fertilization. It worked. And we're having twins.
Everybody celebrates the big news, hugging and laughing.
Okay, it's my turn next, and I have the perfect one.
Riley stands and begins acting out the next clue, pointing between Sarah and Lillian.
Pregnant?
Lesbians! Riley points at his left ring finger.
Married.
Riley nods, then gestures to himself. Man.
Awkward.
Trans!
Riot.
Riley nods, and then begins pointing to Han. Aiden and Sarah understand and start wiggling excitedly. T-shirt.
Huh?
Riley nods and gets down on one knee. Now everyone gets it.
Marry Riley Han. Oh my god, seriously? I thought you never wanted to get married.
You changed my mind. I want to make sure we live our lives together, and then we have a ceremony to celebrate how awesome we are.
Oh my god. Yes, I love you.
I love you too.
The two hug and kiss, then everyone turns to Aiden and Jude.
What?
Well, everyone's revealing big news right now, so you might as well tell us your big news.
You don't have any big news.
Well, that's not necessarily true.
Oh?
We're getting a dog.
Oh, are we? And we decided this, did we? What if I told you I'm a cat person?
I have a severe cat allergy.
No, you don't.
Fine, I just want a dog.
Why not one of each?
Oh my God, look at the rain.
William, Sarah, and Riley gather around Pond in the background while Aiden and Jude continue their conversation.
2 pets? How will we do that if we're not living together?
We visit each other all the time. I don't think it will be a problem.
No. We should move in together before we get any pets. Looks like I'm going to have to quit my job in Springfield and move to St. Louis with you.
You can't quit your job.
Too late, already did. My last day is in 2 weeks, and I start a new job in St. Louis a week after that. So we have a week to get me moved.
What? You didn't think we should talk to each other before you decided you're moving in with me?
Oh, stop pretending to be upset. You know you want me to live with you.
Jude pulls Aiden close to him.
All right. You win. I guess I'll let you move in with me.
Gee, thanks. I love you too.
Jude strokes Aiden's face gently.
Yeah, you do. And I love you. Now, let's talk about this couch that's not coming with you.
Oh, excuse me. I brought this couch with me all the way from Idaho. Thank you very much.
But wouldn't a futon be so much easier to move? You know, I have one in storage we could make room for.
Hey, Jude. Don't make me beg.
Ha, ha. You are so funny. I have never heard that before.
Well, I guess if we're getting a dog and a cat, we should have a sofa and a futon.
Dude, your sofa is just so
Comfy, well-worn, great for naps.
used. It was used when you got it. I think it's time to get a new sofa.
Oh, I thought you just wanted to get rid of the sofa, not replace it. Then yes, I'll let you get a new sofa.
I'm gonna get a new sofa?
Or we could just keep the same sofa and not spend a bunch of money on a new sofa.
You're such a twerp.
And you're such a curmudgeon, but we'll get through it because you know.
Yeah, I know. Because I love you.
And because I love you.
The group continues to laugh and smile with each other as the lights fade out. Curtain.
Thank you, everyone. As we said, comment cards can be left on the table or deposited as you leave. And thank you again for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.